Good morning, my Teaser King family. How's everybody this morning? I am fine. One more week for the move next Friday. Again, pretty much packed except for like stuff I need, like dishes and spices that are in the shaving today. Stuff like that I need for the week. I'll probably pack them up on the 30th because I obviously won't cook here on the first. And stuff like for the bathroom stuff, toilet paper, soap, and toothpaste and stuff like that. Otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good. All that shouldn't take too long. So I'll do a load in the morning and then get my keys and then come back because the movers will be here about noon, between noon and 2, hopefully closer to noon. And when I come back, I'll load the car up with the second load, but the first load will already be in the apartment. And that'll leave me with, a good idea of, okay, leave these 5, 6, 7 boxes for the movers and the furniture that I can't take, like the bed and the couch and this table. And that should be it. So I should be good to go. Feel good. And, it's the second floor, but I'd rather take, a little bit for the move, but then I have peace and quiet, nobody walking on me, no loud music and all that shit. Anyway, so let's go to the NFL draft and let's take a look at it. Actually, I'm going to go here for the NFL draft. So let's start with round 2. We've already talked about round 1. So we start off with the first pick, the Niners drafting some receiver from Ole Miss I've never heard of. I have no idea about that. Again, I watch more of the highlights. I watch like the Michigan-Ohio State game. The big games, Oklahoma, Texas. I'll watch that game generally, or the night games, LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, things like that. So, okay, let's just look at it from what it is. They needed receivers. They get this guy from Ole Miss, questionable. But they needed, it's a good need because San Francisco is depleted. So they need receivers. They need defense. They got Brock Purdy and they got McCaffrey. So they'll be pretty solid there. Number 2, we got Arizona taking a guard from Texas A&M. Wasted pick. Buffalo takes another defensive end from Clemson. Why from Clemson? I looked yesterday. Clemson had a 22 defense. They're not a very good defense. Not when you got like a 10 defense from Indiana. I'm surprised there's not more players from Indiana taken. I think there's too many players from Ohio State that was taken, but we will see. I just watched the Michigan-Ohio State game. That's why I'm a little late. But I watched the quick one. It was like a 20-minute game. And I was looking for the Lions pick, Derek Moore. He stinks. What a wasted pick that is. Defensive end from Clemson, Parker. We'll get to that when we get to the Lions. Houston, defensive tackle, Caden McDonald from Ohio State. I didn't hear his name at all in the game. Wasted pick. Just because he goes to Ohio State doesn't make him a good pro, as we've seen with C.J. Stroud and Fields and those guys. The Giants, Colton Hood, cornerback from Tennessee. I like the idea that they are getting defensive players. That's good. Oakland, Trayton Stukes, cornerback from Arizona. Can't hurt. They need the defense. We'll see. I think they drafted another defensive lineman down the road. Cleveland, Denzel, Boston, Washington, wide receiver from Washington. I don't know. They need so much. They still need a quarterback. I don't know who their coach is. And then the defense, you've got Myles Garrett, so you're pretty good there. I don't know that Boston's going to help. I don't know he's that good from Washington. Kansas City, Mason Thomas, defensive end, Oklahoma. I like this one because of the need. You have Mahomes. You have hopefully some receivers. Hopefully Kelsey can get rejuvenated. You've now added Kenneth Walker. So your offense is a superstar, right? You're going to score 30 points a game. So you need defense. You have Neil Smith, your defensive tackle, All-American. Here you added a defensive end, Oklahoma. And that's a good pick. Oklahoma had a really good defense. So I don't mind this guy. He'll fit in their scheme. Cincinnati, defensive end from A&M. They need defense. You got Joe Burrow, Chase. I think they had a running back who started to play. So, yeah, this is good. The more defense they can get, the better. And, of course, they've let Hutchinson go, who's now on Baltimore. So you needed to replace him. And he didn't play anyway. He kind of quit on him. So he didn't play on him. So, yeah, that's probably get some fresh blood in. He's from A&M. They usually have pretty good defenses. Although it didn't show up against Notre Dame, did it? Christian Miller, New Orleans. Christian Miller, defensive tackle, Georgia. I always like my Georgia defensive guys. I think for New Orleans, this is a good pick. They need a lot. They've got maybe their quarterback, and I know they got a receiver in the first round, I thought. All right. We'll go through the first round again. Miami has a lot of picks in this draft because they traded away everybody. The question is, you don't have Tyreek Hill, you don't have Waddle, you don't have Tagovailoa. So you need to replace those. So let's draft a linebacker from Texas Tech. So the only thing I like is he's from Texas Tech. So this is a good pick. God knows their defense sucks. It makes sense. All right, here's the Lions. Derek Moore, defensive end from Michigan. He's terrible. All right, I watched the Ohio State-Michigan game. He lines up way on the end. He's trying to pass rush. He never gets to the quarterback. He never gets off of blocks. He never makes a tackle. The fuck are you drafting this guy in the second round with? I mean, this must be the weakest draft in the world. This guy's terrible. So the Lions need defense. This ain't it. If they were making a trade, they should have traded up for Reuben Bain, who went 15th to Tampa, and they were 17. That's the move they needed, Reuben Bain. This guy's terrible. Here's a little editorial on him. Moore doesn't play with great technique, but he doesn't get moved much off the ball. Well, that's a lie. Moore is NFL strong and already has the size necessary to compete. What does that mean? Does he have the heart? Does he have the brain? He has a ways to go in terms of consistent technique, but he's got a chance. C- grade. I give him an F. This guy's terrible. Of all the guys you want to get in the second round, and you didn't go to Texas Tech, Miami, Ohio State, Indiana. Guys in Indiana were a lot better than this guy. There was a Jackson, a defensive tackle from Ohio State, looked good in the game. The other guys that went high in the first round looked good in the game. Okay. I wasn't overall impressed with the Ohio State defense the first couple of series, and the only reason they beat Michigan was because Underwear is terrible. He's just pathetic. So this guy's a nothing. If he plays, the Lions are in big trouble because he's He's terrible. So is he going to be a starter? No, no. Not a starter. They might start him, but he's not a starter. He's not an NFL player. Baltimore defensive end from Missouri, Zion Young. Now maybe he's better. They give him an A. Prototypical Ravens picks. Young is heavy-handed, will wear on the opposition. Baltimore signing of Trey Hendrickson made getting someone who can stop the run critical. So he's a good run stopper. Well, the Lions need that. I'd rather see him take this guy than the guy they took. Oh, he's from Michigan and we're Detroit. Oh, okay, but he still stinks. Tampa Bay, Joshua Trider, linebacker from Missouri. So they're loading up on defense. You got Reuben Bain, which is already an A in the draft. Here comes Trotter with your second pick from Missouri. Missouri had a pretty good team, pretty good defense. So I like this pick. Pittsburgh, Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver, Alabama. I like the idea. They need the receivers, but I don't know Alabama. It's a very gimmicky thing. I was watching the first half of the Rose Bowl to look at Ty Simpson. There wasn't much to look at. He ran a lot, and the design passes were little 5-yard passes. I never saw him read the defense and like he knew what he was doing. So Ty Simpson's a bust. This guy, I don't know. I got to watch maybe Alabama or Auburn, Alabama, Georgia to really get a feel. But against Indiana, they were pathetic. Indiana had a great defense, and Indiana they were like the Steelers. They'd run it down your throat and eat the time away, and has a ferocious defense. So, yeah, you need some more Indiana. The Lions should have went after Indiana defensive players before getting a guy from Michigan who stinks. All right. Atlanta, another cornerback from Clemson. I like that they need cornerbacks. They need defense. I don't know all this Clemson stuff. Clemson was not a very good team last year. Carolina, Lee Hunter, defensive tack from Texas Tech. I like him. They give him a D grade. But I don't know. I got to watch some Texas Tech. I think I'll watch that playoff game because they had a great defense, and I don't know, is it all Bailey? Maybe, but it's a good pick. They need defense, and they get a guy from Texas Tech, so that's good. The Jets, Pons, cornerback, Indiana. He looked good. I saw him. He had a couple interceptions when I was watching them against Miami and against Ohio State. And there you go. So yeah, good pick for the JETSs. At least they went to Indiana. The Vikings, Jake Golday, linebacker, Cincinnati. They're taking a lot of defense. I thought Minnesota had a lot of defense. I'm really confused by this because they had a great defensive team, and yet let's look at Minnesota. What was their number? Week 18, Minnesota. They were a 15 defense, so they had a really good defense. I don't get all these. Are they not signing any of their players? Because this is the third or fourth defensive player that I've seen them take. Anyway, seems like a good move for them. Green Bay, Brendan Sissy, cornerback, South Carolina. God knows they need help on defense. Although if Michael Parsons plays, we'll see. South Carolina, fairly good defense. Indianapolis, Allen, from linebacker from Georgia. Always good to take defense from Georgia. So it's a good move because they need defense, Indiana. Philadelphia, Eli Stowers, tight end, Vanderbilt. I haven't seen Daggio taken yet. I think this is a good pick because he's from Vanderbilt and he played with Daggio. So I like this pick for Philly. If they got rid of Dallas Goedert, I don't know. New England, Gabe Jackass, defensive end, Illinois. I like Illinois' defense. This is a pretty good pick. I'm not sure it's what they needed, but they took that offensive lineman in the first round. We'll see. I think these offensive linemen are way overrated. Again, it's against college, and you really can't tell. Jacksonville, tight end from A&M. I don't know. I didn't see a tight end from A&M against Texas do anything. So it's a stretch. The Bears, Logan Jones, center from Iowa, good, solid pick. Iowa always has good offensive linemen. They're well coached. And the Bears, they don't need much offensive linemen, but it looks like a good pick. Cleveland again, safety from Toledo. Okay, I don't know what Cleveland needs. Their defense is pretty good. They need a quarterback. I don't recall their running backs and receivers, so they're trying to address that. They've got a lot of picks, I see, in probably the worst draft that they've had in 50 years. This draft sucks. All right. Houston, Marlon Klein, tight end from Michigan. I have no idea. They need a quarterback. Their defense is solid. So tight end from Michigan. I don't think he's as good as Loveland. So could be good. I think it's a stretch, but okay. Problem is you have Underwear who stinks. So you can't really get a tell on any of their receivers if they're any good. But maybe he's okay. Tennessee, Hill, linebacker from Texas. Good pick. I like that pick. That'll help them. God knows they need defense. The Rams, maybe they got their head out of their asses after that. After Ty Simpson pick. Ty Simpson's terrible, right? Rams, Claire, tight end, Ohio State. Okay, I didn't, it's all Smith. And then drafting the other guy in the first 5 picks was a disaster. I'm watching him in the Michigan-Ohio State game. He runs a crossing route, and he's wide open, and he catches the ball, and it's like, yeah, but that's not going to happen in the pros. The guy with the move is Smith. That's their number one, and he takes double coverage away from Taft or whoever the other guy that got drafted. He's not anything. Max Clare, again, he's getting the benefit of Smith being double teamed. So I don't know. Maybe he can catch for the Rams. Buffalo cornerback, Ohio State. God knows they need cornerbacks. I don't know who this guy, did he even start? I don't know. San Diego, Jake Slaughter, center from Florida. Who the hell knows what they're doing? This is a second-round pick. This is terrible. Seattle, Bud Clark, safety TCU. I like the TCU guys, but more the offensive guys. They didn't have a very good defense. I don't know. Maybe he can help them. Probably be a backup. Seattle's pretty loaded defensively. And that be it for round 2. Let's go to round 3. We'll review round 1 again. Or we can go team by team if there's a team. I know everybody wants Oakland, Pittsburgh. We'll see what they did. Third round, first pick. We got Carson Beck from Miami to Arizona. Is Carson Beck deemed a starter? Looked okay in the playoffs. He looked okay for Georgia the year before. Why not Tagovailoa if you want a starter? And you got Jacoby Brissett. So this guy's probably the same. Maybe he's okay. When he left the Georgia game, I lost a little respect for him. And what he did last year for Miami was mostly Fletcher running and Ruben Bain. So I don't know. He's average. He's a backup, not a superstar. Denver, defensive tackle A&M. I like it. Can always use some good defense, especially for Denver. You got Bo Nix. You got some receivers. You got some running backs. So, yeah, this looks like a good pick. Oakland, Kenyon Crawford, defensive end from Auburn. Auburn, let's see what Auburn was last year. I think they were fairly good on defense. Auburn. See, like Ohio State had a 7 defense last year, Michigan a 17. Texas Tech with the 12. That's why I say get these guys on the good defense. Miami had a 14 defense. BYU a 17 defense. I mean, there's a reason they have good defenses because they have good players, right? Let's see. We can find Auburn. Vandy 45, Tennessee 24. And I'm watching cornerbacks and defense in Tennessee get drafted in that Daggio. Well, let's look for Auburn in week 12. Oh, here it is. Alabama had a 17 defense. Auburn with a 20 defense. All right, so just point of reference. Fairly good defense, not great. Defensive end from Auburn. I think it's good. It'll go with because you don't obviously know if Max Crosby's playing again. He's obviously got bad knees, or Baltimore would have scooped him up. So this is a good replacement for him. Good pick. I don't mind it. Philadelphia, Marco Bell, offensive tackle, Miami. Again, what are you doing with the offensive lineman? Now this is round 3. This is when you should take it. So I don't mind this. Miami had a pretty good offensive line. The Bears, Sam Rouse, tight end, Stanford. I didn't know Stanford had a football team. You have Loveland as your tight end. You got the Missouri receiver. I don't know what this pick is. Stupid. San Francisco, height defensive end from Texas Tech. I like it from Texas Tech. They need defense. It's a good pick for them. Antonio Williams. This is Washington wide receiver, Clemson. I don't like it. I don't buy Clemson. They didn't have a good offense. Their quarterback sucked. He was really good the year before. Last year he sucked. This is a small guy, 5'11", 190. Maybe he'll go with Daniels. Can't hurt. Probably a 4th or 5th round pick. Well, you got him in the 3rd round. That's about right for this guy. Cincinnati, cornerback from Washington. Okay, I like it. God knows they need defense, so they've gotten a defensive end, and they've lost Hutchinson, so it's okay. So they got to replace. So they replaced Hutchinson. Now they added a good cornerback from Washington. I like Washington's defense. New Orleans, Delp, tight end, Georgia. Anybody from Georgia is okay with me. New Orleans, they probably could use this. So yeah, it's a decent fit for them. All I know is they got a Lobby and Kamara, and they got Tyler Shaw, and they played pretty well down the stretch. So I love when they kept saying the Carolina, the South, the winners, and you're like, really? You're gonna go there? This team sucks. The Giants, wide receiver Notre Dame Fields. Okay, don't mind it. Notre Dame, again, forget the Miami game. Yeah, against Army and Navy, he's pretty good. So I don't know. Says he was a high school quarterback. They moved him to wide receiver. This is what they should do with Lamar. Get him the fuck out of quarterback and move him to wide receiver. But Baltimore's not that smart. So I like it's a decent pick. He should be okay. These guys from Notre Dame. They had a good offense. Miami, wide receiver from Texas Tech, Douglas. I don't know about that. They didn't have that great of an offense, but they had a great defense. So again, I'm going defense from Texas Tech, not really Caleb Douglas. It's not going to replace Tyreek Hill. Probably one of the worst picks here, Pittsburgh taking Drew Aller from Penn State. He sucked at Penn State, never could win the big game. What is the point here? You've already got the guy from Ohio State last year. This guy's clearly bad. I don't, it's another wasted pick. Just like the first pick when the Rams took Ty Simpson. Terrible pick. Quarterback who can't win. Drew Aller, terrible pick. And when Drew Aller would he get hurt, the backup came in. He won like 5 in a row. This guy lost 6, 7 games in a row. And the backup comes in and he almost beat Indiana. Wow, what the fuck? I don't get this one. Why didn't they draft Aguayo? I mean, if you're going to draft a quarterback, get the best one. Get not this guy who sucked at Penn State as good as he was. He was like Mr. Ohio. Goes to Penn State's terrible. The Steelers, he'll be in other fields. I mean, forget about it. Green Bay, defensive tackle from Missouri. I like it. Gives them some defensive help. I like Missouri. They had a good team. Indiana, safety from LSU. Anybody in the secondary from LSU is good. It's a good pick. I see they're taking defense. God knows they needed it. I mean, you got Taylor, so, who's your quarterback? Daniel Jones, really? All right. Atlanta, Branch, wide receiver, Georgia. Okay, I'm not sure how good this guy is, but Atlanta's pretty much loaded. If Penix can play, Taylor, if they got to go to Taylorville, Atlanta's not going to do anything. So I don't mind it, but he wasn't, great. Baltimore, Lane, wide receiver, USC. I don't understand this one. Lemon was okay. And that was it. Where's the USC quarterback? He was really good. Nobody's taken him. So I don't like this wide receiver USC. That's not going to help. Lemon was the only one that was any good. Jacksonville, defensive tackle A&M. I like it. It's good pick. Orange, defense. Minnesota takes Orange, a defensive tackle from Iowa State. Big boy, run stopper. Again, Minnesota taking defense. I don't know. As far as I know, they still have J.J. McCarthy. And unless they trade him, they're still fucked. Unless Kyler Murray beats him out, and then what do you do with J.J. McCarthy? Wasted of an 8 pick. Carolina, Brazil, wide receiver, Tennessee. I don't mind it. God knows that they need help for Steve Young. But Brazil, these Tennessee guys I like. We'll see. Usually they're fast. Tampa Bay, Ted Hurst, wide receiver, Georgia State. That I like. Georgia State had a pretty good team. They scored a lot of points. So, yeah, probably a good pick for Tampa. Pittsburgh, Everett, cornerback, Georgia. I like it. Georgia. I mean, at least you're going to the right school for defense, not like Ella fucking Bama. So I don't mind it for Pitt. He'll see some playing time. We're still in the 3rd round. Cleveland, Austin Barber, offensive tackle, Florida. This is when they should be taking offensive linemen. So this is okay. I don't know how good this guy is at Florida, but we'll see. Miami, Cleveland and Miami getting a lot of picks here. Miami, tight end, Ohio State. Well, we already saw a tight end from Ohio State. I don't think they had 2 or 3 pro tight ends. So I don't know. He's a good blocker. Oh, yeah, great. Stupid pick. That's a bad pick. Jacksonville, Pregron, guard, Oregon. Okay, good time to take the guard. All right, that's a good pick. Xavier Thomas, the Bears, wide receiver, LSU. You got to like him, LSU. One of these scooters, 5'10", 192. That'll go well with the Bears. But I don't know. I don't like that they now drafted a tight end and a wide receiver and a center. You need defense, boys. And you still got to get a quarterback because Caleb is not going to do it for you. San Francisco, Black, running back, Indiana. I love it. He's a very strong, powerful running back. Watched him in the Miami game and then in the Ohio State game, and they called his number a lot. He was always getting 5, 6, 7 yards. Very strong runner. It'll go well with McCafferty, and they got the receiver. They still, I noticed they got some defense too. We'll go through that. Oakland, offensive tackle, A&M. I like this pick in the round, and round 3 is when you get your tackle. So he's from A&M, so he should be a good one, or at least you can't bitch that they don't have an offensive line, right? Dallas, Barnum, defensive end from Michigan. I question this. Watching that Ohio State game, they didn't put any pressure on Ohio State. I can't watch the bowl game because none of them played. So I'm looking for another Michigan game. Maybe I'll watch the USC game, or they didn't play Indiana. Maybe I'll watch the Michigan State game, but maybe USC will be a good game to watch. So I'm questioning this pick. I didn't see the defensive ends for Michigan do anything. The Rams, offensive tackle from Missouri. Okay, you can't hurt. Have more offensive linemen for Stafford. That's okay. Miami again. How many draft picks does this team have in the worst draft in the history of the world? Miami, Bell, wide receiver, Louisville. Okay, he's probably a decent receiver. Again, who's your quarterback? Oh yeah, what's his name? From Green Bay, Willis. I don't know. Maybe he's okay. New England, Reardon, tight end, Notre Dame. Seems like a good pick. Notre Dame. I thought we already saw some wide receivers or tight ends or quarterbacks that now play wide receiver. So he's a big guy, 6'7", 252. He's a blocker for the run game. Well, why don't you just draft a fucking offensive tackle or something? I hate when they do that. They draft a tight end to block. Yeah, probably need a blocker to block. Decent pick. Did they need him? No, but we'll see. Not a need. Pittsburgh again, drafting offensive tackle from Iowa. So I think they got a center from Iowa, or no, the Bears did. So good pick here, offensive tackle, Iowa. This is when you make the pick. Do you think this guy, Dunker, picked 32, offensive tackle, Iowa, is any different than any of the first rounders that were picked? No, that's the point. This guy's just as good as those guys. And the thing is, you have no clue. You have no clue if this guy's good or bad because it's the offensive line. Unless they get beat every time, you don't really. All they're doing is blocking. So this is a very good pick for Pittsburgh. Minnesota, offensive tackle, Northwestern. Again, you need a quarterback, fellas. So you've drafted 3 or 4 defensive players in that. I keep seeing the same teams drafting. It's kind of weird. Minnesota, back-to-back. Thomas, safety from Miami. I like this because Miami with such a good defense. So this is a steal here. Thomas from Miami. Good pick from Minnesota, but again, I mean, they have good defense. What are they doing? Seattle, Julian Neal, cornerback, Arkansas. Maybe he's okay. Arkansas, not much of a defense last year. Seattle doesn't need much help, so they need a running back. Jacksonville Husky safety from Maryland. I don't like this. Maryland does not have good defense. And that be round 3. And let's go to round 4. I can't believe there's only 7 rounds. I mean, they used to, Bart Starr was like a 15th round pick. Too much free agency. Or just have the whole thing free agency. You don't need a draft. Just go free agency. I guess the draft helps protect the poorer teams, and then you have some sort of order. But why 7 rounds? All right, Oakland. McCoy, a cornerback from Tennessee. Okay, so this is the second secondary guy. I like it. Buffalo, offensive tackle, Boston College. Okay, this is a good time. Round 4. Yeah, start taking your offensive linemen. Oh, yeah, they only did 2. Okay, so this is the start of round 4. Okay. Now let's look at teams. And who should we start with? Let's start with Baltimore. They've not had a pick. Or, no, I got to take round 4. All rounds. Okay. Baltimore. A guard from Penn State in the 14th. They'd have been better off taking a guy from Iowa that Pittsburgh took in the 3rd round. Zach Young, defensive end from Missouri. Okay, I don't mind that. Jacoby Lane, wide receiver, USC. That's a question mark. And that's all they've gotten so far. All right, let's go. Buffalo, let's see what they've done. Defensive end in the round 2 from Clemson. I question that. Cornerback from Ohio State. I don't think he was a starter. All right. I'd get more Texas Tech and Miami involved here. Buffalo offensive tackle from BC. So the 3 picks, they've taken an offensive tackle, a cornerback, and a defensive end. So they have picked up some defense. I question how good they are, but they have picked up some. The Bears. Safety from Oregon. Okay, I like that they went defense. I don't know how good this guy is. Then they get the center from Iowa, which I like, and then a tight end from Stanford, which I don't like. Wide receiver from LSU, I like. They need more defense. So right now, okay. We'll see. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, defensive end A&M to replace Hutchinson. Cornerback from Washington, I like. And that's it. They've drafted 2 players. Okay. You'd have thought they'd have gotten something back from Hutchinson. Dallas, Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State. He's good. He made a good hit against Michigan, but they ran all over him. So it's hard to watch because underwear is so bad for Michigan. See, this is the problem with hype. He was the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school, supposedly. And Michigan apparently paid him a couple $1 million. He ain't worth it. It's a huge jump playing against high school players going to college because you're going to be 18, you're going to play 21, 22, 23-year-olds. And the same thing going from college to the pros. It's all different systems. And you're playing college players. So when you're a senior, you're playing 19, 20, 21-year-olds. You go into the pros and they are the cream and they're going to kill you. So it's very hard to project this. Okay, safety downs. I don't mind the pick. I think it's a bit early, but okay. Not into safeties. in the first 11 picks. I think they could have done better. Lawrence, defensive end from UCF. I question that. UCF. I'd have went to Miami or Indiana. And then defensive end from Michigan in their third pick. No, he's not good. Michigan's not a big defensive team anymore. And if you want a defensive end, there's much better ones out. Like if you wanted the defensive end, you took two defensive ends, but you took them from Michigan and UCF. That's not going to help you. And your first pick was a safety. So I would have taken Reuben Bain. This is pick 11. You could have had Reuben Bain. So if you want a defensive end, you let the best one go by. And you take Caleb Downs, which you could have got safeties later on, and then you get defensive end UCF, defensive end Michigan. Terrible draft. Denver. Let's see what my Broncos are doing. Defensive tackle A&M they don't get a pick till round 3, so this is okay. And that's it. They've had one pick. The Lions. Blake Miller, offensive tackle, Clemson, with the 17th pick. I would have traded it up for the 15th and got Reuben Bain. That would have been beautiful. Getting this, I don't get it. I doubt it'll be any good. And then Derek Moore, the defensive end from Michigan. You should have traded for Reuben Bain, and then it wouldn't matter what you did. So far, bad pick. Wasting a 17th pick on an offensive tackle from Clemson. As I've noted, the Pittsburgh, they got the center from Iowa and some guards from Iowa. That's what you should have done. You could have gotten a good player from Iowa or Penn State or Michigan, Ohio State, on and on and on. In the third round, this was a totally wasted pick. So I would have traded up for Reuben Bain. This guy's nothing, and they got an offensive lineman, so that was a good move, but it's got to come in the third round. So I would have switched it. Well, round 2, more from Michigan. So I would have switched it and got Reuben Bain, and then maybe get an offensive lineman from Michigan in the second pick. They think they're set. They need a tight end. He got hurt. They need a quarterback, God knows. And their defense sucks. So I don't mind the defensive end, but not from Michigan. And the offensive tackle from Clemson's just stupid. And they got picks in the 5th and 6th round. Let's see how they screw that up. Green Bay, the Packers. A second-round cornerback from South Carolina. Okay. A defensive tackle from Missouri. Okay, goes up with Micah Parsons. And that's all they have. They got some later picks. Planet Houston. Guard from Georgia Tech in the first round. I know they're lousy offense, but it's C.J. Stroud. You need a running back, which you should have grabbed, and a wide receiver. So not crazy about that. A guard in the first round. McDonald, defensive tackle from Ohio State. I think that's a mistake. I don't think he's that good. The guy I liked on the Ohio State line was Jackson. I'm not sure about McDonald. And then Klein, tight end from Michigan. Hard to say there. Michigan didn't have a good year, but everybody's getting drafted. Yeah, not too good. Indiana, linebacker from Georgia, their first pick. Okay, that's good. They need defense. Safety from LSU, round 3, I like. That's it. They've had 2 picks. Jacksonville, tight end from A&M in the second round. I'm not crazy about this one. Defensive tackle for me, and there's a lot of defensive tackles from A&M getting drafted. Okay, is he any good then if the other guy? And then you got guard from Oregon, but you picked him in the third round. That's when you get him. And then a safety from Maryland, I don't like at all. Okay. Kansas City, let's see what our Chiefs did. First round, perfect pick. Now, again, they let go their cornerback, McDuffie. So they got a hole there. Neil Smith on the line's good. So they need defensive help. You got Mahomes. You need defense. They got this guy's really good from LSU. Woods, defensive tackle from Clemson. Again, why are you going to Clemson? Defensive end. I like the defensive end from Oklahoma. Second round pick 8. Much better than I like this defensive tackle from Clemson. But I like that going after their defensive line. These guys, I don't know about the Clemson guy. The Oklahoma guy will be a starter. So that's all they got. San Diego, they got Messiador. I liked from Miami. That was a good pick. Oh, he's 25. Bullshit. All of a sudden, he didn't look 20. He was 25 in the championship game, and he made all these sacks. Yeah, I didn't see a problem with him there. So stupid. Center from Florida, I don't get it. Second round, pick 31. And that's it. San Diego doesn't know how to draft. The Rams, Ty Simpson, Alabama, you just throw away the pick. He's terrible. Claire, tight end from Ohio State. I got to watch more Ohio State because I never heard of this guy. Trost, an offensive tackle from Missouri. See, that's round 3, pick 29. You take your offensive tackle from Missouri. Good team. Again, we're the Lions fucking up, taking the first rounder. And that's it. So they got a tackle for Stafford, a tight end for Stafford, and Ty Simpson is what? You're not going to play. You got Stenson Benson on your roster unless you're trading him for something. And this guy's not good. He's no Bo Nix. He's no Daniels. Terrible, terrible pick. Oakland, for all you Oakland lovers. You start off with Mendoza, big mistake. You go to a cornerback from Arizona. You go to a defensive end from Auburn, which I like. Trey Zen, an offensive tackle from A&M. A lot of A&M players. Too bad they weren't good. Cornerback from Tennessee. All right, so you got a cornerback, an offensive tackle, a defensive end, and a cornerback. So a cornerback, defensive end, offensive tackle, cornerback. So you got 2 cornerbacks, which I like. The offensive tackle in the third round, that's proper. And your only problem is, and the cornerback from Arizona, not like they had a great team last year. And then Mendoza. What do you think you're going to do with Mendoza? Nothing? Is he any good? He's going to come in and beat the Chiefs with this guy? Terrible pick. And Daggio's sitting there and laughing his ass off. So, I mean, Mendoza, is he any good? No, not really. He's not a first. He's a third or fourth round pick that can come in kind of as a backup. I don't think he's as good as Bo Nix or Daniels or Penix. I don't get it. Hi, Dalton. Hello, Tinus Dalton NFL. Oh, okay, that's your name. All right. Well, hello. Welcome to class. Feel free to ask questions, comments. It's a very weak draft, totally. Mendoza in a normal draft would be third, fourth round. So, not crazy about it. Let's go to New England. If there's a team you want me to talk about that I haven't, I can certainly talk about them. New England gets the tackle from Utah in the first round. I hate it. Although they did need offensive line help because their draft picks last year sucked. So did they get better at drafting? I don't know. Then they got defensive end from Illinois, I like, but I think they had a pretty good defense, New England. They need a quarterback and playmakers. Then they get a tight end from Notre Dame, third round. And that's it. So they haven't done much. Let's look at the Giants. Arvell Reese, linebacker, Ohio State. I think he's good. I don't think he's the number 5 pick in the draft. I think he's a second rounder or so. I mean, he's good, but you don't waste your 5th pick with a linebacker. But I do like he went to Ohio State, and they had a great defense. So he could be okay. Mayuga, a offensive tackle from Miami. This guy was All-American. I don't mind him. I do mind him getting in the 10th pick. You don't have a quarterback. And, it'd be good for Scatterboo. I like the pick, but I don't like where you got him. The 10th pick is too high for a lineman. Hood, a cornerback from Tennessee. Okay, so now you've drafted a cornerback and you've drafted a linebacker. Okay, good. Yeah, shore up your defense. Don't mind that. I don't mind the Ohio State guy. I just where you drafted him. You can't draft a linebacker that high. All right, Fields, a wide receiver from Notre Dame. Okay, they needed wide receivers. And that's all they've got. Okay. Philadelphia. Meadowlark Lemon from USC. Okay. Means you're getting rid of A.J. Brown. Okay. Lemon, pretty good receiver from SC. That's a good school to get a receiver from because they learn it. Tight end, Vanderbilt. So Philly's going for offense. I guess Goddard's out. Mark Bell, offensive tackle for Miami. I don't mind it. You really have a strong defense. So, yes, this makes sense to going offensively. Pittsburgh, they get Franco Harris in the first round. I don't like their first round pick. Offensive tackle, Arizona State, big mistake. Wide receiver from Alabama, Bernard. I hate the Alabama receivers. Drew Eller, Penn State, terrible pick. You've got Will Howard from Ohio State's much better than Drew Eller. Dylan Everett, cornerback from Georgia. That I like. And an offensive tackle from Iowa, perfect, third round. So they got a tackle in the third round from Iowa, good pick. Cornerback, Georgia, I like. Drew Allard, I hate. Why didn't you draft Aguio? Wide receiver from Alabama, okay, maybe. And offensive tackle, Arizona State, I hate. It doesn't matter because you're not going to win with an offensive tackle from Arizona State. You don't win anything with that. Mike Webster, fourth round, right? Who'd you take in the first round? Joe Green, Franco Harris, Bradshaw, who sucked, but okay. But that's the players you want. You want your Joe Green. You want Jack Lambert, fourth round. I believe Lynn Swann was the first rounder, as he should have been. So, okay, you're getting offensive linemen. It's a waste of time. Seattle, the champs. Price, running back Notre Dame. I hate it. Uh, Love was the running back, but if Love's gone, you go to Notre Dame for their backup. Really? But again, the guy from Miami, Fletcher, is not in the draft. So Bud Clark, safety, TCU, I like. Neal, cornerback. Okay, so that's fine for Seattle. I mean, when you're loaded, you don't really need anything. The 49ers, Stripling, wide receiver from Ole Miss. Okay, they needed wide receivers. The guy from Florida stinks, so okay, maybe this guy's good. Defensive end from Texas, I love it. Black running back from Indiana, I love it. Although you got McCafferty. Defensive tackle Oklahoma, I love it. Very smart. Okay, we're in the 4th round, so they're going now. Okay, good pick. These guys from Oklahoma are really good. They had a good defense. Tampa Bay, Ruben Bain, the steal of the draft. To get him in the 15th pick is just, it's crazy. You watch these guys taking the offensive lineman, and here's Ruben Bain. I'm sorry. 6'3", 270, 21, very fast. Oh, he's got short arms. Based on what? These things are so stupid. 10-sack player every year. Yeah, but his arms are too short. Yeah, they really bothered him at Miami, playing Indiana and Ohio State. Yeah, he just got carted off the field because he couldn't get off a block. Did you watch the games? Are you out of your fucking mind? What a steal for Tampa. Linebacker Trotter from Missouri, good pick. Missouri, good defense. Hurst, wide receiver, Georgia State. I like that. And that's it. And what do we got? Washington, I guess. Sonny Styles, linebacker, pick 7. I don't like it. Too high for this guy. He's okay. But against Michigan, he didn't make any tackles. So, I didn't see a lot of tackles, let's say. They ran all over him. So I think that's a bad pick. He's a good player in the 2nd round where he should go, but not pick number 7. Antonio Williams, wide receiver, Clemson. Clemson did not have a good offense last year, and that's all they've taken. All right, so let's clear this. Any teams you want to talk about, let me know. And now let's go to the 4th round. They've started this. McCoy, cornerback, Tennessee, to Oakland. Okay, I don't mind. They need defense. God knows they need defense, and they need receivers. Why aren't they drafting those? Bowery, Buffalo, offensive tackle, Boston College. Okay. The JETS's Jackson, defensive tackle, Florida State. I question that. Florida State sucked. But that's the Jets for you. Arizona, defensive tackle, Southeast Louisiana. Now, here's where you're like, really? This is how bad the draft is. In the 4th round, we're getting Southeast Louisiana. That's not a Division I school. San Diego, Thompson, wide receiver, Old Mississippi State. Really? What a weak receiving class. Houston, guard from Oklahoma. Wonderful. Frisco, the defensive tackle from Oklahoma that I just talked about. Good pick. They need to rebuild their defense. But look what they do. Boom, boom, boom. Good school, Oklahoma, and good draft picks. Denver, there we go. Coleman, running back from Washington. Okay, I like it. That'll help them. Kansas City, John Candy, cornerback from Oregon. Good pick. Just in case their first one doesn't work out, it's good backup, and they don't need offense. I think they got one offensive lineman. I'd like to see him get a better receiver, but picking up Walker as running back with Mahomes is going to be dynamite. So, yeah, load up on your defense. And Oregon, not a bad school. Cincinnati's got the next pick, but we're not going to hang out for that. All right, so let us go to the NBA. Man, we fucked up yesterday. All right, we start off. We start off with Philadelphia getting 8. It's kind of a push. It did go to 8.5. So if you bet it late, you got a winner. They were winning, so I was surprised by that. Then we go to Houston, and Houston, their guy doesn't play. Whatchamacallit, Durant. He got hurt in game 2. They lost, and now he's hurt now, and they blew a 6-point lead. They had a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left. We're laying 8.5. We could win, and they go to overtime, and then they lose. So Houston's now down 3-0. I don't mind that bet because of that. Even with the overtime, it was 220. And without Durant, you're probably not going to go over. And then our last one, Portland blew a big lead to San Antonio. San Antonio, they were up like 10, and I go to bed, and I wake up, it's 120, 108, San Antonio. I'm like, fuck. So what do we have now? We have Boston's back up 2-1. We've got the Lakers up 3-0 and Houston injured. And we got San Antonio now up 2-1 to Portland. Portland's in do or die game 4. Houston is done, and Philly, I think, is done too. All right, let's look at today's games. We got Detroit at Orlando. Okay, the series is tied at 1 apiece. So we had Detroit lose game 1. They were even at half and had a big third quarter. Orlando at home. I like Orlando getting 2.5. It's not a must-win game. The series tied at 1. This is just like for show. Game 4 is the real game. We want to bet the loser of this game back game 4. So for now, I like Orlando as a home dog. I don't think Detroit's any good. I'm not sure they'll win the series. Maybe they will. They had a lucky third quarter. I think they're nervous. I don't think they know how to win. I don't think they understand the playoffs. Look for Orlando to come on. Orlando will play a good game today. Will the Pistons? Don't know. Never been there. We had Oklahoma and Arizona. Oklahoma leads the series 2-0, 2 blowouts. They're laying 9.5, 214. It's do or die for Phoenix, but I don't think they can do much. I'm going to take Oklahoma here and lay the 9.5. That'll be 2 units. The Piston game will be 2 units. And then we got 4 games today. The Knicks and the Hawks. Atlanta's up 2-1. The Knicks are still favored. I like the New York Knicks here. Lay the 2.5. Because they're down 2-1, they cannot go down 3-1. Atlanta's going to relax. They've won 2 games in a row. So they're going to relax. This is game 4. They know it'll go back to New York. They're like, oh, okay, 2-1. The Knicks, it's do or die. They go down 3-1, they're fucked. They'll lose in 6. So they have to win this game. So I like New York here. And Denver, Minnesota, this is a war. Minnesota leads this series 2-1. I look for Denver here and lay the 1.5. So you notice last time I took all the home dogs because the home teams needed it. But here, Minnesota's now up 2-1. They played their big game. They shot their wad, and now I think Denver is going to sit there. And now they're down 2-1. They will play their big. See, psychologically, you cannot go down 3-1. You go down 3-1 in a best of 7, you're fucked. You're not going to win. So they've got to go 2-2 as the Knicks have to. Okay, Arizona, they're down 2-0, but I don't see them winning any games here. And then Detroit is not a 1 seed. Orlando got their injuries back. So this is like a 4 or 5 seed game. And I got to take the home dog here. It's different because it's pretty even. Oklahoma is not even with Arizona. And Minnesota plays well, but I still think Denver is the better team when they want to. And then we got the Knicks. I think it's pretty even, but again, it's 2-1 Atlanta. It's time for New York to win. So that's what we got today. Peacock, NBC, the Oklahoma game's on NBC. The Knicks are on NBC, and Minnesota's on ABC. So the Piston game is not on. It's hysterical. All right, let's look at MLB. I was hot yesterday. Whew. I'm white hot, Bobby. Let's go. All right, we start off Cincinnati 9, Detroit 8. I loved it. Detroit, no bullpen. Their guy they got from Houston has got a 4 ERA. They couldn't hold the lead. Cincinnati hits. I didn't play the game. I didn't know what to do with it. Baltimore over 8.5, 2 units. They win 10-3. W. Cleveland over 8. They win 8-6. That's a W. The Mets 2 units. They lose 4-3 to Colorado. I couldn't believe they lost to Colorado. Colorado's, like I said, a lot better than we think. Minnesota under 7.5, 6-2. That's a loser, but I didn't bet it. Atlanta 5-3 over Philly. That was a 3-unit play. That wins. KC over 8.5, 2 units. That wins. KC wins 6-3. Scanes has a perfect game into the 7th. Pittsburgh 3 units. W. Texas over 8.5. Oakland beats them 8-1. It's a W. The Yankees on their streak minus 140, 3 units. They win 12-4. And what did the Cubbies do? The Cubbies got the win. I love it. They were down 4-0, and they cut it to 4-2, 4-3, and they win 6-4. The Dodgers have no pitching. That's why I like betting them over. Wow. So I go 1-2, 2-2, 4-2, 6-2, 8-2 regular picks. My bets: Baltimore wins, Baltimore over, Cleveland over. I lose on the Mets. Then I hit the 3-unit Atlanta, the 2-unit KC, the 3-unit Scanes, the 2-unit Texas over, the 3-unit Yankees, and the 2-unit Cubbies. The streaks are still the Yankees and the Cubbies, and bet against Philly are still there, and we will keep betting them until the cows jump over the moon, I guess. So a big day. What did I win? 2, 4, 2, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17-unit day. Holy fuck. That's the second 17-unit day. I might actually know what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm picking way too good I think I figured it out. Now there's 2 variable sets that we have to, that we're winning without even implementing those. How they play against lefties and righties, because it's a whole different lineup. It's a whole different variable. And the streaks are also, so we're looking at the pitchers' ERAs. We're looking at how they play against lefties or righties, and then we're looking at streaks. So we got 3 sets of variables. We got to add the lefty-righty variable in, which could be a little bit harsher, but that's what we need to go in. Plus 17. Holy fuck. I knew I was hot. I knew Atlanta won, and Pitt had the perfect game going, and then the Yankees win. And then we were just waiting on the Cubs' 9-game winning streak, but we're afraid because it's the Dodgers, and they win. They were a plus 143. Yankees a minus 140. Pitt a minus 118. Atlanta a minus 138 against Philly. Huh. But we do lose the Mets game. That was kind of a surprise. All right. So let's go to today's. So we got to go to covers so I can get my ERAs. What a day. Whew. Let's quickly look at streaks, if there's any new ones. I think everything kind of went back to 1, so I don't think we'll have too many streaks. Yankees on a 7-game winning streak. We've got them. Now a couple of we got a 4-game losing streak with Boston. I think 4 is good to start. A 3-game losing streak with Minnesota, but everything else is 1 and 2. We'll leave that alone. We've got a nothing, all ones in the West. All right, so nothing there. Just the Yankees and go against Boston. And now let's go to the National League. Atlanta on a 3-game winning streak, but we're betting them anyway because Philadelphia is now on a 10-game losing streak. So we got Philly. So we got Atlanta. So we're going to go New York Yankees. We're going to go Atlanta. We're going to go the Cubbies. Those are the 3 primary ones. We'll see about Boston. Philly's on a 10-game lead. Shit. The Mets went to 12 or 13. Here's Philly at 10. You got to love it. And that's what you get when you play every day. You start getting these streaks, and you just play them. They're no-brainers, and you keep betting them until they lose. Okay, we'll bet Yankees, Atlanta, and the Cubs again today, but we're not betting against the Mets anymore. So that's what happens. All right, let's see. The Cubbies on a 10-game winning streak. Holy shit. And that's it. Milwaukee had a 3-game losing streak. We'll start it if it goes to 4. And in the West, nothing. Everything's 1. Either on a 1-game or winner or loser. Okay, so we got 4 teams. So we know we're going to bet the Yankees, Atlanta, and the Cubs. And since Atlanta is playing, the Yankees and the Cubs are on big winning streaks. We're betting against Philly with Atlanta. And Boston's now on a 4-game losing streak, so we will start paying attention to them. And this is all what makes time travel possible, is the flux capacitor, which is streaks. Boston's 3-0 over Baltimore. Well, I guess we're not playing against Boston. They are. It's 12:50. The game started. Why are they starting so early? Croquet going against Jesse Jackson. Oh, no, he's batting. I don't know who's pitching for Baltimore. All right. This is 2:15. Okay, we're at 12:50. All right, so Seattle at St. Louis. Oh, we got Ric Flair going with a 2.25 ERA against the Liberatory 3.67. We're going to take Seattle minus 138 with Richard Flair going 2 units. I did watch that Hogan thing on Netflix. I liked the beginning. I didn't like the end of it. He died because of the fentanyl. Fentanyl kills you. And he was taking a lot of fentanyl at the end because of his back surgeries and everything else. And I don't know why he did so much surgery later. Just let it go. I mean, he's probably in his 60s. He's getting back surgery. I don't know. Put ice on it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it was a good beginning. And he understood brands, and he was the brand. But I didn't like the ending. Too Disney-ish. The Wicked Witch came in, and that was it. All right, Cleveland, Toronto. We got Cantillo for Cleveland. Well, Toronto's a 143 favorite, 7. When I give you the 143, that's the favorite. Cleveland at Toronto. I don't know who won yesterday. Cantillo with a 3.24 against Gausman, 2.57. We're going to go Toronto again, 2 units with Gausman, minus 143. So this is very much the same thesis as betting football. The defense controls the game. If you have a good defense, you're not scoring. You're fucked. In baseball, the defense is the pitcher. If you have Paul Skeens going, he's got a perfect game going through 7. You're not even getting a hit off of him. I don't care how good your offense is. The defense shut you down. Skeens shut you down. I think we'll see the same thing with Ric Flair today with Seattle and Gausman here. I mean, that's what you see. You start seeing you start seeing these pitchers can dominate. You can't even hit them. So but if you have a bad pitcher, then you're going to hit them. So that's the whole thesis. That's the defense in baseball is the pitcher. You don't really have defense in basketball. Too much traveling. There was a highlight I saw. The guy took 6 steps and then called traveling. It's like, what the fuck? That's why it's so hard to watch. All right, Miami and the 49ers. The Niners are minus 109. It's at San Francisco, 7.5. E. Perez, 415 for Miami. And Robbie Ray used to be on the Tigers, down to 289. I'm going to go with the 49ers here for 2 units. Minus 109. I don't mind this Ray guy's pretty good. Miami, again, you're on the West Coast. Washington against the White Sox. The White Sox beat them yesterday. It's at Chicago. The White Sox minus 140.8. Irvin with a 6 ERA for Washington goes against Schultz, who's supposed to be very good, but he needs some seasoning with the 4. So I'm going to leave this alone because I don't know. I would think it's an over, but the White Sox can't hit, so it's hard to go over on the White Sox. All right. Minnesota, Tampa. We got Tampa minus 127, 8.5. Bradley over. He sucks with the 4.15 ERA. Goes against Shane McClanahan with the 5 ERA. Should be high scoring. We're going to call it, but we're not going to bet it. Tampa Bay over 8.5. So in that case, I'm not betting it. I kind of like it, but there's too many fish to fry here. I still got the Yankees, Atlanta, and the Cubbies. San Diego, Arizona, at Arizona, minus 113. Over, under of 16. Can this be correct? Are you kidding me? That can't be correct. It's got to be 6. Well, let's see. The pitchers. Marquez with the 4 ERA for San Diego and Zach Gallen with the 3.60 for Arizona. Can this possibly be a 16? Let's go to my other page and see if it gives odds. Arizona. Fuck, it's 16 here too. San Diego, Arizona, at Arizona. You've got Zach Gallen, who hasn't pitched much, 3.60, and Marquez, 4. And you got a total of, all right, we're going under 16. Jesus Christ. Arizona, under 16. And I got to go 5 units on that. How can it be 16? These pitchers aren't that bad. What the fuck? So I don't know. But as long as if it says 16, we're going 5 units. I mean, that's crazy. Oakland against Texas at Texas. Texas 126.8. Springs for Oakland with the 3.41 ERA and Gore with the 4.15. Probably an over 8. I'm going to write it but not bet it. Texas over 8. Here we go. The Yankees minus 142. We got Weathers with the 3.21 going against Burrows with the 6.92. This is going to be 4 units on the Yankees on their streak. Houston's pretty bad. Houston's 10-16. The Yankees are 16-10. There you go. California goes against Kansas City. We've got KC. It's at KC, 146, 8.5. We got Urena with a 3 ERA for California. Kansas City with a 9. Reagan's with a 6 ERA. And I don't know enough here. I think it'll be high scoring because Reagan's has got a 6 ERA and the other guy's got a 3. I don't know they hit much. So we'll go KC over, but I'm not betting it. It seems like it'll go over, but again, the managers' heads are so far up their asses. They pitch the guy for 3 innings and go to 17 guys in the bullpen. They all pitch an inning each. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest managing I've ever seen. The guy can't go 3 innings, really. This is professional baseball. This isn't little league. All right, Milwaukee minus 135 and 8 against Pittsburgh at Milwaukee. Scanes basically no hit them, basically perfect game to him until the 7th. Keller 279 for Pittsburgh. Mizorowski 312 for Milwaukee. Milwaukee's not going to hit anything today. This is under 8. When you face Scanes, he screws up your batting because you're not hitting him. You're all fucked up. You're not going to hit this guy. And this guy's got a pretty good ERA. So Pitt under, maybe Pitt, but I'm not betting it. Here we go. The Cubbies against the Dodgers. We've got Charlie Ray with a 164 for the Cubbies. Sasaski with a 635 for the Dodgers. The Dodgers won. Holy shit. I get the Cubbies plus 118. I'm going to go 4 units on this one. That's unbelievable. Why are the Cubs the dogs? Ray with the 164 for the Cubs on a 10-game winning streak, and you're making them dogs. Thank you. All right, Philadelphia at Atlanta. Atlanta 119, 8.5. Bryce Elder, a 1.50 ERA for Atlanta against Zach Wheeler. He does not have a 0 unless this is his first game. Yeah, he hasn't pitched yet. Let's look at Zach Wheeler the last few years. 271, 257, 361, 28. So he's primarily a 3 ERA pitcher going against Elder, but I got to take Atlanta minus 119, and I'll go 4 units on this. Philly on a 10-game losing streak. Wheeler, what's he going to pitch? 3 innings? He hasn't pitched at all. 4 innings? They have no bullpen. The Cubbies, I like against the Dodgers. They got a terrible pitcher, a 6 ERA. And the Yankees are the Yankees against Houston, who's weak this year. At least so far. We got the Tigers at Cincinnati. The Tigers minus 106, 9.5. Joe Flaherty from SCTV with a 3.52 ERA. I doubt it's that good. Against Brady Singer, 5.48. I'm going over 9.5. I'll go 2 units on this. And that's the last game. So that's the 7:15 game. And that's it. So let's go through the bets. Yankees, 4 units. Atlanta, 4 units. Cubbies, 4 units. So what do we got? The Yankees on a 7-game win streak. Atlanta, Phillies on a 10-game losing streak. And the Cubs are on a 10-game winning streak at the Dodgers. They beat them. They came from behind to win. So I want to bet these games stronger because you're betting the streak, and the streak just keeps going, right? So you start at 4. So we've won 6 games on the Cubs, but they played Philly, so it was kind of a wash. And then the Yankees, we've been on the last 3 or 4 games, so it just keeps going. You just thank you, and that's it. You just go with black until red hits. You do not. Black could hit 20 times in a row, and you cannot go reds do. There's no such thing as do. It's what's actually happening. Black. All right. We have Seattle with Ric Flair going 2 units. We got Toronto with Gausman going 2 units. We got the 49ers with 2 units. Arizona under 16. I don't understand this. I'm going 5 units on under 16. Wow. And yet it'll probably end up 14 or something, right? And then Cincinnati Tigers over 9, no pitching in this game. Very weak bullpens. There was a 9-8 game yesterday, so both teams are hitting, and that's what you want. So 2, 4, 6, 8 picks. Oh, I got to make it 9. I got to make it even. So I'm gonna add Pittsburgh 2 units under 8. I don't like playing 8. 8's not a good. 7 was a good number for me, and 9. All right, so that's baseball. Basketball, Orlando, the home team. Oklahoma, lay the 9. The Knicks, off of 2 losses, have to win. Laying 2.5, and Denver off of a loss. They're too good of a team. Minnesota got its home win. Now let's tie the series up. It's just the way it works. It's all psychological. If you win, you relax. If you lose, you're pissed, and you come on. The Lakers do not have Luka Brasi, and Oklahoma apparently doesn't have Kevin Durant. So you'd think those games would be under games because, you don't have the scorers. Winnebago for San Antonio. I don't know if he's when he's coming back. He could miss the next game. When he's come back, we're gonna bet the farm on him, especially if they keep losing. All right, baseball done, basketball done. We did the draft. We'll look at it more in depth tomorrow because there's more picks. Although from what we see, this is probably the worst draft in NFL history. I did a thing. I looked at quarterbacks and running backs drafted. There was like 3. And like quarterbacks, Mendoza, 4th round pick. Ty Simpson should never have gotten drafted. And then the guy from Penn State, Ellard, who got hurt, and Penn State was much better without him. Do these GMs have any idea what they're doing? And here's Daigio Pavas sitting there not getting drafted, who's the best quarterback in the draft. You got the guy from Tennessee, Aguilar. You've got, I'm not sure if Dampier's in the draft from Utah. He's very good. USC guy, Maivia, he's very good. So I don't know what they're doing. I mean, you could have had Maivia, the Rams, and you ended up with Ty Simpson with the 13th pick. Are you guys out of your minds? Seriously, are you out of your minds taking Ty Simpson? I could see taking Ty Simpson in the 7th round as a free agent. In the 1st round? Are you kidding me? Wow. And I think it was before Reuben Bain even. Holy Christ. All right. So Tampa Bay's got the best draft so far with Reuben Bain. That's all they need. Oakland, I like what they're doing, getting defense. The Lions fucked up. Offensive tackle, pick number 17, just a disaster. And then you follow it up with a defensive end who is a backup at best, probably not even an NFL player. Watching the Michigan Ohio State, he never got close to the quarterback. Didn't get close. Never made a tackle. Now again, I'm watching highlights. Never makes a tackle. Never gets close to the quarterback. Yeah, let's draft him in 3rd round. We've solved our problem. We drafted a defensive end from Michigan. Did you hear of Indiana? Well, Miami, you blew it. You could have got their the other defensive end, Mazador. You could have got him if you wanted a defensive end. Instead, you wasted it on a offensive tackle that is totally meaningless. Since when does offensive tackle ever win you a Super Bowl? Oh, yeah, never. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's talk a little statistics, AI, analytics. why it's stupid. So I'm watching Daniel Negreanu on his little poker thing, implying that AI and analytics helps you in poker because you know the odds. And when I got done laughing, that doesn't help you in poker. Okay, Ace King beats a pair of sixes 51% of the time. Does that help you? No. You're going to play Ace King anyway. Am I going to play the pair of sixes and bet a lot of money on sixes? No. Sixes are a bad hand. They might win heads up. And again, that's heads up, not if there's 3 or 4 people in the pot. You got 3 or 4 people in the pot, you're not winning with sixes anytime. And if you do, you're not going to win any money because you can't bet them. Then he misses how to bluff. There was a hand, and he bets the flop, he bets the turn, he bets the river. And it was an obvious bluff. Because if you got a big hand, you're going to check. You're going to want to fool the guy. You're going to want to make a smaller bet for him to call. And it was an obvious bet with his big river bet. And that's why you have to look at the betting, not the odds. Looking at the odds in poker is the stupidest thing to do. It doesn't work. It's like me looking at the odds in football. It doesn't work. You have to understand the team and that. So in poker, you have to understand the bet. Why are you betting so much? You're trying to get me out. You're obviously bluffing. If you look at the bet size, that tells you it's not. Then he goes into the range of hands. Again, a totally misleading thing. The range differs. Put me on a range. You can't. Well, you only have aces. Bullshit. You only have kings, queens. Well, everybody plays aces, kings, queens, or jacks. The question is, are they on it? And, your range, you wouldn't have 8-5 a diamond. How do you know? Am I on the big blind or the small blind? I might. If I'm early to react, I probably. And so my range when I'm third or fourth, there's 7 guys at the table and I'm third to act. My early range is probably going to be aces, kings, queens, ace, king, ace, queen. Probably going to be there because I got 3 guys behind me and I can't be in with 6-3. What if they catch aces or kings? I'm fucked. So I got to have a better hand there. But late position, near the button or small or big blind, pretty much I'm going to have anything. If I'm on the button, I might play, 8-9 of clubs, jack queen, king queen, jack 10, 10-9 of diamonds. Because I'm on the button. So it depends where you are. Depends what hands you play. So unless he's talking about range when you're the small blind, big blind versus range when you're early or range when you're late. So there's 3 different ranges you have, and you don't know what I have. I mean, I play gut instinct. So if I feel lucky and I get that little tingle, I'm going to play the hand. You can't call that, and you have no idea. So what you're doing is you're guessing, and that's what he's doing is he's guessing. Well, he's on this range, so this is what he had. Well, yeah, but you can bluff him out. What if he misses his flop? Is he going to go out? That's what you need to know. If I make the big bet against the guy, will he fold, or will he call me? It's got nothing to do with can he bluff. Everybody could bluff. Most people don't because it's a stupid move. It's only good if the guy doesn't have a hand, except for Mike Matusow, who folded a king high flush to Phil Ivey when there was a pair of jacks on the board. You got to call with the king high flush. I'm sorry. Yeah, what are you doing? But normally the bluff works if you don't have a hand. So to me, you're looking at weakness, Daniel Negreanu. You're looking at he's not betting. I don't think he has a hand. And from my standpoint, it's I'm going to either fake the weakness or it'll be real. So when I check, maybe I got a full house, maybe I don't. If I flop quads, I'm not betting. Am I weak? No, but you think I am because I'm checking. Well, how the fuck can I bet? I got four of a kind. I need you to think I'm weak. So this is the problem. These guys think they can bluff. They think that they know if you have weakness or not. And that's why you really got to look at the bet. But you've got to be careful in that. You're not really clear. You don't know my cards, no matter how much you want to know my cards, or no matter how much you put me on a range, you still don't know my cards. So, I could come in early and a king flops and I bet it. And you think I got kings and I got 6, 7 of diamonds. I mean, you don't know. It's how you bet. Are you confident when you bet? Things like that. That's really what you're looking at. And that's the point of it. So, and then he's using analytics. The average says this. So 52% of the time, I should call with ace king. And 52% of the time, I'm going that's bullshit. Sometimes you'll flop an ace or king, and sometimes you won't. And you don't know if the flop hit me or not. And then you don't know if you can get me out. And I'm reading you that if you make a big bet, you're probably bluffing. Oh, I don't want to go broke. Well, that's not the point. You would want to call if you had a big bet. If you had a big hand, you would slow play it, you would check it, you would bet small because you want me to call. So all I got to do is look at your bets. So let's say you have aces on the flop, you're going to bet them. Maybe you check them, like I did. Some lady bet, I guess kings or queens. She had a big hand. She made a big bet. I called it. I had aces, but I called it because she made the big bet for me. So I could walk in kind of quietly. Then an ace flops. I check that. And a guy hits two pair and he makes a bet. And I go all in and he calls and he's got two pair and I got a set of aces and I can't lose. Because if he pairs either one, I got a full house. So again, you can't look at me for weakness. Maybe you look at me for strength because I called the $40, but you don't know what I could have ace, king, king, queen, something. And maybe he put me on ace, king because I called and then I checked and the ace hit and he's got two pairs. I got two pair. He's got aces. No, sorry. I got trip aces. That's the key to poker is you're trying to do it, but all these guys with the aggressive and I think you're weak. So really what's happened in poker, instead of the showdown, I got a pair of sevens. I'm going to check and hope that my sevens are better than whatever you have because you're not betting either. Turns into, he doesn't have anything. I'm going to make a big bet to get him to fold. So now you're playing a different game, same game, but you're playing it differently. You're assuming he's got a weak hand because of maybe you're playing odds, maybe you're playing I'm checking. But we saw Tom DeWan bet. I would have slow played his ass. I'd have taken all his money if I hit quads or the full house or if I had aces. You would never bet. You would just let Tom DeWan make the big bets and bluff off to you. Like I say, I did that to the Russian girl. She would bluff. She would bluff, and I would, if I had nothing, I'd fold. And if I had a big hand, I would just call. She'd bluff, I'd call. At the end, I had her because I had a good hand and she was bluffing. And you could tell by the big bet. Then she'd catch a hand and she'd check. Oh, I wonder if you got a hand you're checking. If you watch the betting, that's the critical thing. That's how you win in poker. You can't look at the odds. Analytics, AI doesn't work. It's just as stupid as it is in football or in baseball. Baseball is all analytics. Well, we can't go through the third time in a lineup with this guy. We can't, I can't let my 300 hitting lefty left-handed left fielder hit because they put a lefty in. So the odds say he's not going to hit. I'll put in the righty who can't hit. At least the guy's not hitting zero anymore, the righty. So it's just really stupid to use the odds like that. It doesn't work. Going for it on fourth down, we've seen that. How many times do we see it not work? The defense is waiting for you. It's not a good play. Punt the ball, play defense is the prudent play, not going for it at midfield. And then if you don't get it, and most of the time you don't, I don't know where they get this 51 or 52%. It's bullshit. It's what time in the game it is. Who are they playing? Those are the key things about will it work. But in poker, well, 51% of the time my ace king is going to beat sixes, so I'll play him. No, you're playing it and you're looking at the flop. And if the flop hits ace or king, you're staying in. If they don't, you fold. You quit messing around. Will the guy fold his sixes? Well, if I don't see an ace or a king on the board and I see smaller cards, I'm probably going to stay in. How are you going to bet? You're going to make these big bet. You're going to make a big $200 bet on the river with my ace king and I got sixes and there's no ace or kings on the board. If you hit an ace or king, you'd probably bet small because you'd want me to call. So that's the psychology of this whole AI analytic crap that won't work. AI in business is very stupid. There's the gut instinct. See, they missed the instinct part of it. They're just looking at it from the number standpoint. And they're like poker. They're looking at the 51%, so I should play the hand. Or I got pot odds and stuff like that. That's just fantasy land. You've got to use the instinct. And am I on a streak? Is he on a streak? I was playing one guy and I had, I don't know, kings or something. And he's on a streak and he beat me. And I knew that, but he was on a streak. So I don't get it. You cannot take emotion out of it, right? I bet a lot of baseball with hunches and gut feeling. Football, it's mostly gut feeling. I'm analyzing it, but then I say, do I like the game? And that's where the gut feeling comes in. And those are highly successful for me, the gut instinct. Because I'm an INFJ, I'm very psychic, and I can feel if that's going to win or not. Like this 16-run thing today. You got, what is it? Arizona under 16. Just the number itself makes me want to bet it. I got to bet it because how do you have a total of 16? Major League, the pitchers, okay. How bad can they? I've seen pitchers with 9 ERAs in the games 3-2. I tell you about that all the time. Like it doesn't make any sense. How do two good pitchers give up 10 runs and how do two aces, how do two good pitchers shut you out and two bad pitchers and you get, or two good pitchers and it's 9-8 and two bad pitchers is 3-1. So I see it all the time. So this is just a gut instinct, but that's where you use your instinct. And in poker, you got to feel, you got to watch the guy. Does it make sense what he's doing? Is it normal? And you go from there. Like I see 2 high ERAs and the total 7. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's the instinct part of it. And that's what I do in football better than anybody. But in poker, you've got to feel it. Is the guy, what else is he tilting? Like when we see in football, do they need to win the game? Did they just play a big game and they're going to be flat? What's the matchup look like? Oh, fuck, you're not going to score on Seattle's defense. The Rams, they're going to play over. Detroit's going to play over. And, and Minnesota has no quarterback. They're going to play under. And so you just know the team. And that's what you're doing in poker. You're really looking at it. And you're going, wait a minute, does this make sense? Does that make sense? And that's the whole point of it. You cannot just use statistics. And if that's what Daniel Negreanu is going to do, he's going to lose a lot because you can't play with statistics, right? It's not, there's a whole lot more to it than just looking at the statistics. Now I look at, for football, the defense. but those are pretty good number. And I'm not playing the statistics. I'm looking at the actual numbers of the defense, and I'm not looking at, well, 52% of the time they're going to win. When I analyzed Ohio State, Miami, I bet it under. When I analyzed Miami and Indiana, I bet it over. So that's just what you do. You analyze the game. You don't. If I use statistics, I'd have probably bet Miami, Indiana under, and I would have lost. And I don't know what I would have done with Ohio State, Miami. But Miami was an under team. They had this great defense, and that's the key to it. And in poker, you're looking at the bets. I don't care that I'm 51 or 52% favored. That's not why I play a hand. I'm going to play ace king because it's ace king. I'm going to play sixes anyway and see the flop and hope I get a third six. Now, if I don't, then there goes the 51% out the window. And the ace king, if the ace or king doesn't hit, yeah, you're fucked. I got a pair and you got to look for an ace or king. You only have 6 cards, maybe at most, that can help you. Maybe it's 3 or 4 because you've dealt out like 7 people. That's 14 cards that could have had an ace or a king in it. So anyway, that's the thing with AI. And AI doesn't make money. So the economy will collapse from AI because you're not paying them. So people think we're gonna be more productive. I was watching some guy on paying off the debt. Well, the economy will be more productive because of AI. Will it? Who's going to analyze AI? What if AI I've seen many times does not work. Even watching some of these shows, there's an AI and they mispronounce the name. And if you're going to use AI to do business, you're going to go bankrupt very quickly. It's a very bad thing to trust that it actually works without knowledge if it works. And all of a sudden, it's going to be more productive. Based on what? Nobody's more productive than me at Mercedes doing 24 things and helping others and all the stuff that AI can't do. If my manager comes over, can you help me on that? And I help her or him or one of the guys. You can't do that with AI. You can Google AI, but it's not going to be helpful. It's going to be confusing, especially if it's stuff that you have to touch. You let me go into your spreadsheet and do it, and I'll set up the spreadsheet. How's AI going to do that? Right? AI just gives you data, right? So when you type in is Telegram working in Russia? When you type that in, it just gives you yes or no. But if you want to set up something in Excel and you want it set up this way instead of that way, how are you going to make changes in AI? No, make this row 1 and this row 2. It's not going to do it. That's not what it does. So I totally argue AI, and it's not going to be a customer of yours. And you think, well, we won't pay it. Yeah, then you don't have customers either. And as we, as we lose our money, well, we don't lose our money because we're smart enough to be in gold and silver. But as the population starts with this $0, so are they inflating the money supply by printing all these dollars, which devalues it on purpose to pay the debt off? Really? And how are they going to pay the debt off? Well, they'll pay back with dollars worth nothing. Oh, really? And to whom? You're going to pay China with China doesn't want your dollars. They want gold and silver. Same thing with Russia and all the BRICS countries. They don't want your dollar. So if nobody wants the dollar, it has no value. It's worth 0. So if the dollar's worth 0, how are you going to pay off the debt? Like I said yesterday with the mortgage, you owe $300,000 on your mortgage. Your house goes to 0. It's not that'll make you not pay it. It'll be the dollar's not worth anything. So how can I pay if the dollar's worthless? I don't have the dollar's worthless, so all these are worthless. How am I going to pay you? That's why the mortgage and the car payments and the real estate payments won't be there, because The dollar is zero. You can't use the dollar to pay it. How can I pay my utility bill if the dollar doesn't exist? For example, right? And that's really the key to it. How do I pay these bills? What do I use to pay the bill with? Should be the correct way to ask that question. So if the dollar's worthless, what do you want me to use to pay my mortgage? That's why you won't pay your mortgage, because the dollar won't have a value. Now, also, all the assets in dollars will go to zero. That's why I say your Bitcoin will be zero, because it's worth 65, $70,000. But if the dollar is gone, then what? How do you value Bitcoin? How do you value your house, your car? How do you value your gold and silver? Gold and silver are different because they're money, and they will always have value because it's gold and silver. So my handy dandy gold will always have value. I got to turn it around. This will always have value. It's a quarter ounce of 9999 fine gold from Credit Suisse. This will always have value. I don't need the dollar to give it value. It gives it value now, 4,700 or 4,800, but in reality, that's in dollars. In gold, it's much, much higher, because there's very limited amount of gold and silver versus this paper crap that we're looking at. So really, when I say that you won't owe the mortgage, it's because you won't have anything to pay the mortgage with. If the dollar's gone, how do you want me to pay my mortgage? And the bank, you're sorry, I can't pay you because I don't have anything to pay you with. And you're not going to sell your Picasso to pay your mortgage, and you're not going to sell your gold to pay your mortgage, because the banks don't have, there's no dollars. That's why you always have to have a dollar to pay your bills. You have to have a medium of exchange to pay off your bills, to go eat. Now I'm going to Chinese. Okay. Well, I need something to pay the bill with. Right now, it's the credit card, works fine. Soon it'll be silver. That'll work fine. Like I said, the barbecue place, the guy will be more than happy to take silver. So that's the key to it. We understand that, most people don't. Again, you cannot print the dollar to zero. What are you going to use to pay the debt? The debt is not going to go away. You're going to owe $40 trillion to other banks and real estate, life insurance, and pensions. You're still going to owe them, right? That's not going away. So, but what will you use to pay them with? So you can't say, well, now it's zero because the dollar's worthless. Yeah, in dollars, there's no $40 trillion debt, but it didn't go away. It'll be in whatever your new currency is. Well, we'll use, stable coins. I was listening to Judy Shelton. She's an idiot. She likes gold, but she doesn't understand inflation. She doesn't understand cryptocurrency. She's basically a moron. She's one of these like alligator McLeod who thinks they know, who understand that gold's good, but they don't understand why. They don't understand what inflation is. They're not economists. They just happen to like be economic history or whatever. Well, I see what happened before, so I assume that's what's going to happen now. No, these are idiots. So I was really disappointed. Well, we can do bonds and we can back it by gold. Well, why don't we just take the fucking gold and back it for the currency? Well, we have the 4,000 tons in Fort Knox. No, we don't. You're assuming we do. We don't. There is no gold in Fort Knox, or we'd be using it. So I was really disappointed in her, thinking, now I've heard of her, I've never listened to her. And there was this one video yesterday. I was watching it last night. Here's one from our doctor. He's telling us to do 25 push-ups twice a day, that it's really good for you. So I might start doing that, because if he says to do it, I'll do it. If my doctor said to do it, I'd tell him to fuck off. I think this is the one here. The new Fed chair's plan to cancel the $39 trillion debt. Let me quickly see.
In May, the Federal Reserve is undergoing a shift that most people.
No, it's not that one. Oh, here it is. The authentic Judy Shelton, the maverick economist, takes. Yeah, this is not very good. I was very surprised and disappointed. When is this done?
Whether you're the right nominee or not, because you've advocated in the.
It says 2 days ago, but who knows? That's the problem with YouTube. They'll replay it, and I keep hearing like Colonel McGregor, and it's like, well, fuck, I've heard this a week ago. He'll talk about it, and they all sound a little angry at Trump and at the U.S. Who knows if they've been burnt or not, but she doesn't know what she's talking about. This is on Gold Telegram. I've never heard of it before. I just noticed and said, oh, and it's like, well, we can use Bitcoin and stable coin. And I'm like, you can't. It's not worth anything. To think you can use digital money is like thinking you can use digital food. Well, I bought a digital steak. I'd like to cook it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Digital money is not real, and it's a nightmare because they're going to say, well, it doesn't really have a value. It's not backed by anything. Well, it'll be backed by. She said, well, the dollar will be the stable coin will be backed by the U.S. dollar. Oh, good, because that has so much value, and that's when I start questioning these people when they don't understand the dollar's gone. When they don't understand it's been printed to zero, and you can't back stablecoin by the dollar. If the dollar has no value, stablecoin's not backed by anything. You're in the same boat you're in now, except for nobody knows what the fucking stablecoin looks like or the Bitcoin. Then she didn't know what inflation is. Well, the prices will go up. Well, it's not inflation, that's prices. And again, there's three ways prices go up. One is inflation. If chocolate chips go up, as the dollar's worth less. But if the supply of oil goes down and the price goes up because supply's down, that's not inflation. That's the supply going down and the price going up because of the supply going down. Or in gold, if the demand for gold makes the price go higher, not because the dollar's worth less, because the demand for the gold coins are high, and that makes the price go up because you can't print supply. That's not inflation either. So gold price going up is not inflation. Oil price going up because the supply is short is not inflation. Money being printed and losing value of the dollar does not necessarily mean the oil price goes up or the gold price goes up. I mean, these people are idiots. Again, I'll repeat this. I was in my international economics class in my master's program, and the guy worked for the Fed, Ray Ballou, and he works for the Fed. And I said, how do you know the difference between the inflation being money being printed and demand for a new product that everybody wants forces the price up? And he looked at me like a deer in the headlights. He says, I don't know. And I laughed at him. I'm going, yeah, now we understand the beauty of the Federal Reserve. You guys are a bunch of idiots. And I said that to him. And I didn't care. I had no respect for the Fed. These guys are bankrupting the country. I mean, these guys are morons. There should not be a Federal Reserve. There should never be fiat money. It should always be gold backed. What the fuck are they doing? So, like in Germany now, Russia is stopping the flow of oil from Kazakhstan to Germany because Germany's helping Ukraine. And so therefore, when prices go up in Germany, is that inflation? And the answer is no. It is not inflation. That's because the supply of oil went down, forcing the prices up. That is not inflation. Inflation is not prices going up. It can only be prices going up if supply and demand stayed the same, and it's going up because the dollar is worth less. But that doesn't necessarily become inflation. As again, inflation is money printing, making the dollar worth less. But it doesn't always necessarily mean, yes, it takes more dollars to buy the same, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need more dollars. There's inflation. I can go buy my ribs for $30. It's still 30. It was $30 for 2, 3 years now. Inflation keeps going. The ribs didn't go up. The chicken went up $1. Is that inflation? That's inflation, right? The chicken going up. If the supply of chickens didn't go down and the demand for chicken didn't go up, his cost for chickens went up. So he's got to charge you $1 more. Is that inflation? Well, as long as the supply is fine, then yes, it's fine. That would be inflation. The chicken going from $14.99 to $15.99 is inflation. Prices going up is not necessarily inflation. It depends on the why. Gold is not inflation, neither is oil. So I'm tired. It's like the problem is I know this, and most of these people, like this woman, is clueless. Well, prices will go up. No, they might not. Will the market bear it? So as I told the guy at the barbecue, if you mark your ribs $45 to keep up with inflation, you'll close your doors because nobody will pay it. So he's keeping it $30 roughly. He knows what I told him. He knows I'm right. So he's still in business. The other two are out because I'm telling him you have to meet the market. If the market is $30 ribs, you can't go to 45. Nobody's there to buy them. You have to keep it where they are. Now you can sneak it up like you did with the chicken, $14.99 now $15.99. Okay, you raise it $1. We'll stomach it. You make it 20. No, I was at my grocery store yesterday, and the chicken was on sale for $2.50, so I bought like 3 of them. The big chicken breast. I also got hamburger. Hamburger was up to like $9 for the ground sirloin, and then it was like $7 for the 85%, and then it was $4 for the 80%. So I got 4 pounds of the $4. That's smart shopping. But the price went down. Did the inflation go away? No. The market said, I'm not paying $8 for the 80% sirloin. And I'm not paying $9. So I know it's going to happen. The steaks were up. They were like $20, $21 now, New York strip, T-bone, Delmonico. And I said to myself, well, I'm going to wait for the prices to drop, and I'll wait and get them on sale, because there's no fucking way you're selling New York strips for $22 or $20 a pound. Or Delmonico, I think, was 21. You're not selling them. You kidding? You can raise the price to what you want, but in the market, will we buy it? And we're gonna be here. We're at about $14 for New York strip. You're up here at 19, 20. Let's say you're at 20. Who are you selling it to? Who's there? Nobody's home. The market's down here. You have to sell it at market. You have to sell everything at market. You can be a lawyer. I'll charge $1,000 an hour. There ain't nobody buying. Maybe 250 an hour. Maybe we buy. But even with the mover is $175 an hour. So I got an hour. So I'm basically in it for like at the most an hour and a half will cost me $375. But I looked at it like, okay, because I need the furniture moved and he can move some boxes. And I'm figuring let's get it in and out in an hour, and that'll be it. And but I can't move it I cannot move my couch. I can't put it in my car, even if I got 2 guys to help me. Where am I going to put it? So I could get a U-Haul, but that was going to be probably $75 or more for a piece of junk U-Haul that could break, that might not have mirrors, that's probably dirty. So I said, no, for the extra $200, $300, I'll get a mover. That's how I looked at it. So, as long as I can afford it, and I got gold and silver, so fine. But that's how the market works. U-Haul could, say, well, we want $500 per hour. Okay, you're not going to get anybody. because of the competition. So the mover, having two guys move it in their truck, and I don't have to drive the U-Haul, and it's only a couple miles away, so it should be much quicker than a half-hour drive. So for all those reasons, it just makes sense that let them come in and out, and they're a little expensive, but the total will be maybe $3 to $350, and I've already given them $100 deposit. So you're looking at $200. Okay, fine. So I looked at that as okay. That's just part of moving, right? You assume 500. So anything under 500 to move, you're happy. They're not going to pack up. They're not going to wrap anything. Just take the fucking bed and put it on your truck, and take my couch and take my table, and just put it on your thing, and my chairs. Just put them on your thing. Just put them on and move it. And I'll give you 5 or 6 boxes to just go and do that with. And that's it. I'm finding a little like pots and pans. I had to use a box for, and then all the bowls that you put all your veggies in. So that'll probably take up a box. Or maybe I think I have a garbage bag I can put them in. I'm going to clean them anyway. So I think I'll do that. My spices, I got a lot of spices. I got my lunchbox, so I'm thinking, well, how many spices can I fit in my lunchbox? And then I have other spices in a big veggie bowl, so I'll just take that. But I don't, that's fine. And the gold and silver they're already in boxes, so I just gotta move them. But that's what you're looking at. So again, it's what the market will bear. You can mark any price you want. Like I said, I could be Teaser King and charge $1,000 a week. I'm not going to get anybody. And what's the point of it, right? If you want to be in business, you got to know what you can sell your things for. And the key is selling them more than your cost, which people don't seem to get. Yeah. I always sneeze here for some reason. Excuse me. So, in business, you can mark the price anything you want, but you have to realize, is there a market and what's the competition doing? So if I'm McDonald's, if McDonald's is out there and I'm Wendy's, what are they selling their burgers for? Is about what I need to sell my burgers for. What is my cost? Is my cost under my price? And if it isn't, I'm fucked. And that's why a lot of these restaurants are going out of business, like 25 Guys and Fries. These guys are going out of business because their cost is probably going up, and they can't sell $8, $9 hamburgers. People just don't have the money to really spend. You're killing the economy with all this inflation, and the money's worth less and less. And that is the inflation prices, because there's not a shortage of hamburger and stuff. Although there is becoming a lot of bullshit processed foods that are going to kill you. So you got to be careful with that. And Bill Gates, he's a real nut job, wanting to kill the poor people. Yeah, that's a good one, Bill. So that's what you have. So again, to understand the market, it's what can I sell it for? Is there a market? What can I sell it for? What is my cost? And what is my competition doing? So in moving, you better be cheaper. One guy quoted me like $500 or $400. So, well, it'll take 3 hours. I says, I got 3 things and about 5 boxes, and you don't have to pack them. Just put them on the truck and drive it 2.5 miles and unload it. And that's it. You're done. If that takes more than 45 minutes, I'm going to be shocked. And so I'll see how quickly they load it is how many boxes I'll give them. Otherwise, I come back and I load it into my car. And if I have to make 3 loads into my car, I don't really care. I'm still pretty strong and virile, and even though I'm a little older, not a problem. Although I got too many cards, because I have my great cards, expensive, my manholes and stuff, and then I have my secondary cards. But then I got these sets, and I got to get rid of them. The hockey sets I have a harder time because there's so many good hockey players in the 90s and 90, 91, 92. So that's a hard one. Football, I just take out the good ones. And basketball, there's a lot of good, Magic and Bird and Jordan and Kareem. And, there's a lot of good players that hold a minor value. I don't want to just throw those out. So it becomes that. What do I do with these cards? I mean, So anyway, that's the problem. But again, in the market, it's what will it, what's the pay? What is it? Is there a market, and what will they buy it for? And then I come in and go, yes, there's a market, and this is what I got to sell it at. I can't be up here. I can't just mark the price $500 for Oreos and expect anybody to buy them. It's not going to happen, especially with the competition. Or I can get ice cream. I can get chocolate cake. I don't need cookies. So that's the thing with it. And, even with meats, I can go to my grocery stores, got better quality, I believe. And they're still the same price. It's amazing. I can get hamburger at either store and it's virtually the same price. I'm noticing salmon's down, but I saw steaks at $20, $21 a pound. And I just laughed. I said, I'll just wait for you're not going to sell any. I told the butcher, you're not going to sell any of these things. I mean, you might sell a little, but, you're not going to sell any of these things. And I know it's a richer grocery store, higher end clients. They're not idiots either. They're not going to pay $15 for a hamburger or $20 for steaks. They're not going to do it. So that's the point. You can't just market. You got to go where your market is, and you got to look at the competition. So it doesn't matter what it is. And that's why you see some of these companies, Porsche and Mercedes, there is no substitute. That's what it means. There's no competition. We can market higher, but now there is. So it doesn't work that way. So again, keep that in mind. And it works with women. There's competition both ways. How expensive is she going to be? And so you're looking at the price, and the same thing with them. They're looking at you, going, well, how much money do you have? So can I? If I be with you, you have money, good, you can take care of me. Because at the end of the day, I want to be safe and taken care of and free to do and say what they want. But again, it's the same thing. If everything's the same and, you're worth 100,000, this guy's worth 500,000. Now, will he share his money with you is really the question. Not the fact he's got 500 grand. It's how will he spend it on me? So we'll see, but everything's about money and economics, jobs. I got applied to another job and I go, this is ridiculous. You apply me, I never hear, 25 years experience in a master's and I can't get a fucking job. It's insanity. And a lot of them probably want newcomers, couple years experience. They want to pay cheap and they want you to grow. Well, they don't even want you to grow. They just want to keep their costs down because they'll probably go out of business soon anyway. Most of the companies will be out of business soon because they won't be able to charge the extra for the cost, which is what I just said. So if your costs are 10 and if you're selling for 5, if your costs are 5 for a coffee mug, and I don't have mine out, and you can sell it for 10, the market says you can sell it for 10, it's fine. But if your costs go up to 15, can you sell it for 20? And you can't, because if you could, you would have sold it for 20 in the beginning. So you can't sell it, and the money is worth less. So the money you spend on everything, you run out of. So you have less money to spend. Like now, I have less money to invest in more gold and silver, but I have a lot. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay. Now I'm just waiting for the price to go up. But that's the thing. If your costs go up, can you raise your price? And most of the time, no, especially now when people's money is worth less. So now you go to the grocery store because you got to eat and you buy 10 items and it's $40. I noticed I was at the grocery store the other day and everything's $3. My pita bread's $3. It's, you know, tuna, $4. But everything I did, it wasn't like big item. It was $4, $3, $4. I sometimes buy something just because it's 99 cents, so I can pay 99 cents for it. But that's where it's sneaking, and that's where the money being printed is causing the cost to go up. That's not a shortage of cocoa in Africa making my dark chocolate $6. And oil going up because of the supply and gold going up because of the demand. Those are other areas of prices going up. But in our world, yes, going to the grocery store, most of the food is inflation. Even my veggies, which and that's going to go up because of the gas prices. That's where you're going to see the fruit and veggies go up, is because it's going to cost more to ship it. However, they still have to be careful. You can't make broccoli $10. You make broccoli $10 for a head. Guess what? I'm not going to buy it. Give me some more celery and cauliflower. It's just you're not going to buy it. So they got to be careful what they charge for it. Is there people to buy it? And that's really the key. So anyway, that's what the market is. And so what's the competition? So you can kind of go in, let's say we want to make laptops. What's the competition selling it for? And then what's our cost going to be? Can we get can we get it cheaply, get a deal and sell it for $200 and make profit? Can we do that? Because the market's 200. So anyway, that's what we got to do. But that's what the market is. So not all price increases are due to inflation. Yes, the money is printed and the money loses value is true. That's what inflation is. The prices, on the other hand, are what the market will bear, not because of the inflation. So there's Judy Shelton, doesn't understand digital currency. She wants to do these bonds backed by gold. Fuck, if you have the gold, just do money backed by gold. You don't need the bonds. Well, we want to pay the debt off. You ain't going to pay the debt off. Where are you going to come up with $40 trillion? Well, we'll keep printing the money and we'll have $40 trillion in monopoly money. Nobody's going to want it. They don't understand that who do you owe this money to is not going to accept it. It's going to go to zero. And it's just amazing that people don't understand that. Well, we can just keep printing it forever and ever, and it won't affect the value. You're out of your fucking mind. That's why if you keep printing, that's why you can't, because the value drops. You keep putting more and more out there, the value is gone. And that's why I say we're at zero. But that's why the gold and silver hold their value, because no matter what happens, there's still only 220,000 tons of this. Therefore, the price in gold should be very high, and the price in dollars should be going through the moon, not this bullshit price of, well, we still have the inflation, but the price went from 5,200 to 4,700. How can that happen? How can that possibly happen when the supply didn't go up in gold? The demand's huge. So demand didn't go down. So if you got high demand and low supply, how does the price drop? Well, we use paper, we use options. We're basically fucking everybody to get the price down with 4 million tons of bullshit paper gold when there's only 200,000 tons available. How the fuck can you print 4 million tons? So this is the problem. They're price fixing it, but it won't last. And that's where we come in and we just hold it and we go, well, okay, we'll wait. We understand the game. It's being price fixed by JP Morgan. We get that. And so we're just going to hold on to it because we know it won't last. And then we'll be fine. And that's it. All right, it's 2:00. Jesus. Okay. Back to my Michigan Ohio State game and rating these players, and we'll take a look at the draft. We'll take a look at our gold and silver from yesterday. So this is how we ended: 75.69 silver and 47.08 gold. Total jokes. This should be 10,000 at least by now, and the silver should be well into the 600s. Do I think so? Absolutely, 100%. The supply has not gone up. It is still very, very limited. Has the demand gone down? No, the demand's through the roof. So you have high demand, you have low supply. Why is the price falling? Only because it's price fixed. Totally illegal. And that's it. So we keep waiting for COMEX to break so we can get to a real price and not this 4 million tons of gold when only 200,000 tons exist. I mean, this is insanity. And we're not stupid. We know what's going on, as does the Chinese and all the BRICS countries. They know they want a physical market. They don't want this paper bullshit. So soon we'll be there. Just got to wait. I bought the Montana card for $100 at a card show. Very, very good. Almost, man. I've shown it here. Almost a 10. Could be a 9. It could be a 10 because in 81, it was very hard to get a very centered card because they didn't make them that way. They were all a little off center. So understanding that, now I didn't know it would go to 110,000 if it is a 10, which it could be. Let's say it is. I paid 100 for it. Well, I didn't notice it, but now all of a sudden I notice at 110. And so I'm going, wow, it's 110,000 if this baby's a 10, which it very well could be. Perfect card. A little bit off center. I've showed you before. So if that's the case, but I didn't watch it go up. I thought it was a $100 card. Maybe it'll go to 200. Again, it's not graded. So the grading makes the difference. You don't have to worry about grading. I don't have to worry about getting this graded because this is gold. And that's what people want. They don't care about the grades. It's not a collectible thing like this. I would never get this graded. There's no reason to get this graded. It's an ounce of silver. And therefore, as long as it's an ounce of silver, I don't need to get it graded because you're going to buy the ounce of silver because that's going to be the medium of exchange. So either directly or indirectly. So either everybody carries gold and silver coins in their pocket, or the government or somebody has to make the dollars worth something. Yeah, there's got to be a medium of exchange. So if it's not this, then what is it? And don't tell me stable coin because nobody wants stable coin or Bitcoin. There's A, the control, and B, they're not real. So we'll just ignore that. I mean, I'll move to Russia where I can use the gold back currency that they have because they have the gold and they're backing their currency. Something like that. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Daria's still out with they've cut the internet and they've cut Telegram and they've cut WhatsApp. So I check for emails from her, but I really don't get anything from her. She said, when I need you, I'll contact you. So, a couple of weeks ago, she needed some money for food and I gave her rent. So then she was able to contact me, and now she must not need anything or whatever. And probably has just no way of contacting me because the VPN she uses isn't working. And therefore, how does she get on the internet or there? So I don't believe she's on it. I contacted her sister. She says, I can't get a hold of her. The Telegram's down. So we'll see. But, I'm a little worried. And I think she's fine. I just miss Misty, I love yous, I guess. So anyway, that's what's going on with her. So anyway, have a good day. Good luck on the bets, the big bets, the Yankees, Atlanta, the Cubbies, and the under in the Arizona under 16. How the fuck can that be? They see that's analytics, right? Analytics comes to this thing and they look at the pitchers and what they're hitting, and they come up with this 16 run thing. I've never seen it that high. If yours isn't 16 and it's really supposed to be 6 or 7, but I can't see that either, just don't bet it. I'm only betting it because it's 16. Basketball tonight, taking Orlando as a home dog, plus 2.5. Oklahoma, uh, they've been blowing them out. I think they will. And then we got the Knicks off the loss, actually off 2 losses, and Denver off of 2 losses. So look for these teams to buckle up and say, okay, let's play our game. So I think the better team, the Knicks and Denver, win. And obviously, they don't want to go down 3-1 in Orlando. Orlando, I think at home, I think they're going to play a good game, and they're getting 2.5. And I don't think Detroit's capable of going on their own winning a playoff game. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong about Detroit. I don't see them being very good, but we'll see if they can beat Orlando. They're not going to beat Cleveland. They're not going to beat Boston. So we will see. Or the Knicks. So this is they enjoy you beating an 8 seed who's really a 3 seed. All right, I think that's it. So we'll look tomorrow. We'll watch a little of the draft, although I don't know any of the players. It's the worst draft I've ever seen. All these linemen being what a stupid draft. Linemen you get as free agents or 6th, 7th round picks. You don't waste your 1st and 2nd. Although there's just no running backs, and I think a lot of that is this transfer portal and all this bullshit. People playing longer because they're getting paid in college, which is absolutely ridiculous. I'm totally 100% against this. Players getting paid in college. This is not professional. This is amateur. You do not get paid, and you're getting a free education. So I don't know. I guess people really don't care about education anymore. So we're really slipping deep down in big trouble. I don't think the U.S. can last another 2-3 years at most. I think there'll be terrible trouble. And when you lose the money supply, you're fucked. Because how do you buy and sell things? So all the economy collapses because, I can't sell. So I can't buy new stuff. So everybody goes down the line. So you see all these ads on football and basketball. Well, they're not going to advertise anymore because nobody can buy their product. So when the dollar goes out, there's going to be big trouble. And you cannot do it with digital, with fake money. You need real money. You need gold and silver. If it's not gold and silver, just stay away from it. All right, let's go enjoy. www.teaserking.com. I think I'll walk the lake today. It seems like it's warm out. All right. Take care, everybody. Enjoy.